Hello, hello, and welcome back to Death Stranding. We've now got warmers to actually stop us from freezing to death, so we were able to take a quick nap, and let's just throw a bunch of likes at this thing, because it helped keep us powered.
Thanks for the help. Today's a good day.
Alright. Now let's go get on our truck and make our way back downhill. I don't have anything going to the Mountaineer, do I? Yeah, nah. So, we want to go back down the mountain. Is our route faster than the one we took up? I think there might be. If we go through here. I think that's a spot we can make it through. And then just do that to make sure I drive in the right direction on the road.
Weapons restrictions lifted.
I have to go up the other side, right? Yeah, okay. Here we go. See it hang left here and go through that little gap there. Careful now. Use our scan to help us keep track of the contours of the environment. Oh yeah, this ramp's gonna be good. Wait, is it facing? Yeah, okay, ready? Or not. Well, that was fucking lame. The ramp didn't activate. Sorry, Sam. The game decided to be fucking stupid again. Let's get a little bit of a charge up. I'm gonna sip my coffee. Hey, stop driving. My superhero campaign that I mentioned last episode. I'm very excited to be having it, like, go on. I've been talking with a lot of the players, and we've really built up a detailed, like, a good detailed lore for the setting. So, the world it is set in is, like, the way I describe it, I think I talk about this in the episode 0 of the playlist. But, I describe it as our world a little bit to the left. And that the world it is set in is, like, very, very similar to our world, with a very similar history, but just, like, loads of things are under slightly different names and played out slightly different. So the world is super similar to ours, but just unique enough to not actually be our world. And that also helps facilitate a lot of the elements that are going to go in, like, you know, their world is in the 2020s. But technology is probably a good, like, 20 to 30 years more advanced than ours. In that, like, laser guns exist, and there's, like, you know, and technology's on the brink of having things like hover cars and robots. And, like, cybernetic implants have become a thing that is, like, used in military production, but isn't, like, a common civilian thing yet. Like, the technology is there for it. That allows, say, for a hero to have cybernetic implants and have it make sense. And in this world, rather than the Cold War being... So, They had a slightly different World War II, known as the Second Grand War. And in the Second Grand War, the fascists, sorry, I'm gonna stop talking for certain moments and then start talking again on and off. But the fascists began trying to make a super soldier serum. Instead, they just made meth. They didn't make super soldier serum, they made methamphetamines. Let's store our armor plating here. And our speed skeleton we'll store here as well. Until we leave the mountain area. Okay, now let's look at what we got for deliveries to do. So we gotta go up north. We gotta go to weather station. Up north. North. I think everything we have might be taking us back north again. Or to Hartman's lab. But I might hold off on the Hartman's lab stuff for a moment. Oh, you know what? No, let's go do Hartman's lab. Not what I was trying to do. And do we have any other deliveries we can, like, officially pick up? Ah, there's a spiritualist paint mission I could have taken that I missed. Alright, load all of that into the truck. And bing bang boom, let's move along. But yeah, but they were trying to make super soldiers, and while they didn't really, and they just basically made meth, it was enough to scare the rest of the world's governments into wanting to start their own super soldier programs during the Second Grand War. This culminated until near the end of the Second Grand War, when the United Colonies of the New World, I'm sure you guys can just listen to the names and get a hint at what countries these are supposed to be simulacrums of. But the United Colonies of the New World, hang on, if we want to drive up, what path are we going to take? I think we can drive to him from here. No, that would never work. That would never work. Excuse me. I hope that this is all drivable terrain. There's definitely going to be a lot of experimenting with this route. Alright. But, well, that's definitely not drivable. Shit. Shit. Okay, here's what we're gonna do. We're just gonna do this. We're gonna try and figure it out. Hang on. How am I going to drive to him? On the map, it barely looks like there's going to be any difficulty driving south. Oh, I see. Okay, hang on. Okay, we might need to make this whole trip on foot. Ooh. Jesus, game. Game. Come on. But yeah. The United Colonies of the New World got together or they began a super soldier program, along with, all the different parts of the world did. And they would debut their first batch of super soldiers, during, or at the end of the Second Grand War in a land invasion of Nippon. This was this world's equivalent of Hiroshima and Nagasaki. Nuclear bombs were never invented in the world of Hero Infinite. Superheroes were invented. And this led to a drastically different Cold War that, rather than it being about the study of nuclear bombs and espionage and all things around that, it was the study of super soldiers and the stealing of super soldier serums to perfect them. The original batch of super soldiers all would die of heart problems after the events of the Second Grand War, because the drug wasn't as stable as they thought it was when they gave it to hundreds of soldiers. Okay, so I'm just looking at some of these. Let's take that. I've been not selecting the premium version of things and forgetting that. If I have, that's a shame. Alright, let's... Where are my carriers? Offload them. Luckily, most of what he has me delivering is rather light. Like, actually surprisingly light. Yeah, okay. Sorry, I'm just thinking a little bit. Alright. We got our cargo.
Order assigned.
Yeah, so the whole Cold War was about the creation of super soldiers rather than nuclear missiles in this world. Let's just walk through this and, have a pleasant time. Okay. And that leads us to the modern day, where even to this day, the creation of warfare is painted not by the concept of, the Second Grand War. In this world, the First Grand War, the equivalent to World War I, played out very similar to our own, with a trench warfare mentality. In our real-life, World War II spelt the end of trench warfare, with it only being sort of a flash-in-the-pan combat style. But because of the super soldier mentality that grew, trench-style warfare didn't quite die down. There aren't trenches used, but the mentality of hunker down, hold the front line, and don't try and push forward at all held firm. With all wars being fought in that style. And it's so soldiers in wartime generally operate on the we don't push the front line, we hold the front line, and the super soldiers push the front line, with them waiting for superheroes and super soldiers to come and push the front line and change the war. I hate these bridges, they make me nervous. All it takes is one rainstorm for this thing to become a nightmare. Okay, we're good. Oh, you know, I probably should have just walked up here from the... whatever. We've started going this route. So this is the route we're going to. I didn't grab any anchors or ladders. Oh, that was dumb of me. I didn't grab my anchors and ladders to take with me. I do love hiking this path. But yeah, and so in the world of Hero Infinite superheroes, I'm probably gonna geek out about this series a lot and things because it's a fun creative writing project for me. Really is what this campaign has become. Superheroes generally fall into two categories. The government-backed superheroes who are like officially recognized by their regional government and act as sort of an extension of police force and or military. And then the second group is vigilantes, who generally the governments do not officially like agree with, and on paper they officially are like, hey, this is not okay, don't do this, you shouldn't. But most local police forces and municipalities will turn a blind eye to vigilante justice because it helps them. And that a big part of that is the fact that this is a world where super villains exist. And so cops, that mentality I mentioned that permeates warfare, also permeates the justice system. Cops are mostly there to stop a situation from getting out of hand until a superhero or vigilante can show up and actually handle it for them. Now, this isn't the mentality of all cops, but it's a mentality that 100% exists in this world. You know, this world of Hero Infinite is a world that has had superheroes, like, essentially for 200 years now. Because the first heroes showed up weren't superheroes, but were just, you know, vigilante heroes in the 1920s during Prohibition. And these weren't people with superpowers, they were just dudes in suits who fought crime bosses. Alright. Oh my god, I'm still in the region. God, the map feels so much smaller than you realize it is when you're actually traveling on foot, you know? I'm gonna want to be hanging right in just a moment. We're approaching. Yep, there's Hartman's place. Hey, BB. Hey, baby. Lovely man. I mentioned last time, too, the terrible fanfiction element of this setting, and, like, I am putting in loads of fictional characters just into the setting. Like, to spoil some elements of the character appearances, I suppose. But they're really teasing more than anything. I don't remember I don't know exactly when this is going live in comparison to what episodes I've already recorded have gone live, but, like, the Yellow King has a whole cult dedicated to him, and one of the players is dedicated to hunting down a cult and magic, dark magic type things. Another character canonically exists in the world is Space Ghost. You know, of the famous Hanna-Barbera superhero cartoon Space Ghost, as well as the parody sequel series it had, Space Ghost Coast to Coast. So in this setting, Space Ghost was a US super soldier created during the space race to be the ultimate astronaut, but now his biology is adapted to the point where he literally can't live on Earth, so he lives on the moon, as the 51st colony of the United Colonies of the New World. All cheesy fun times.
Delivery complete. Displaying performance.
Yeah, and he runs a TV show. Space Ghost actually runs like the talk show from the moon, where he talks about goings on in the world involving metahumans. Oh, I can now do a hologram of BTs. Horrific. Lightning blue. Alright, a good productive haul. Got a lot of reports to read.
Cargo addressed to Porter awaiting collection.
Oh. Oh, look at it! Oh, I love it! Oh, I love it!
Thank you for your continued support. Good work.
Alright, do you want some of my resin? I think he will want it. That's very good. I've been trying to off all this shit. Oh no, it's too much for him. God damn it. Nobody wants my resin. I do not want to take either of those right now. I'll take that. I'll take that. I've already done that. I'll take that. And I don't want to do that one right now. But yeah, and like I said previously, if you want to be able to influence the Hero Infinite series, check out my Ko-fi. I hold numerous votes that help determine what characters are getting in from requests from the players, and Ko-fi supporters are allowed to request characters to have appear. Also, you get to influence what games I play on my channel through votes. I'm trying to more and more increase, and you get early access to some of my shitty fan fictions. I'm trying to make my Ko-fi more and more worth it by putting more of my, like, artistic project shit into it. But yeah, we're gonna wrap up this episode of Death Stranding there. So, I hope you've all enjoyed this episode. Even Harmon, nobody wants my resin.
No one's home.
But yeah. And girls will be appearing in just a moment. Love y'all very, very much, and ta-ta for now.